wanted to ask everyone on the panel question about international partnerships. Obviously, this cuts both ways. You can reduce the cost of reaching exascale capabilities with international partnerships, but then there's the issue of damaging our nation's economic competitiveness, potentially, or national security, because we are not doing this on our own. Now, where do you come down on this? Is it worthwhile, and how far should we go in international partnerships? At what point is it still an advantage? At what point does it become a disadvantage for us economically, giving up our lead on the high-end computing? So whoever wants to start with that one, Dr. Stevens.
I'll start. So I think the primary opportunity in international collaboration is in software, and in particular the components of software that are open source. That right now most of the software that runs on these machines, other than the applications, is built based on open source technologies developed largely in the U.S. That's a significant lift to move all that software to next generation platforms, and international collaboration can help there, provided that the software stays in the open. Okay? I think where we don't want to go, at least in the near term, is in deep hardware partnerships internationally. I think that's a place where we want to maintain our competitive edge. We have significant advantages with the U.S. vendor community, and we want to maintain that as long as we can.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Crawford?
Yes, I would like to add that it's very important that the United States maintain the key intellectual property for the next supercomputer levels. If we control that, we have the high ground for the standard space that will make all the decisions in the coming decade, and I would not want to cede that to another country. I cannot trust the U.S. nuclear weapons technology to a system built in China, say. That's untenable. I would like to not consider that those low-power technologies are developed ahead of time in other countries that we will use embedded in our intelligence systems. To me, it's very important that the U.S. take a very strong leadership position in this technology arena.
Thank you. Dr. Reed?
Yes, if I might add to that. It's part of the reason in my testimony I spoke very specifically to the importance of U.S. industry engagement. And as we move into this increasingly mobile device, low-power world, which is one of the key enabling technologies for future exascale systems, it's really crucial that the U.S. vendors maintain the competitive edge and strike a balance, as we do in terms of investment, between the global market and maintaining unique capabilities for U.S. national security. That's part of the role of the Federal Government in terms of, as Ms. Crawford said in her testimony, about shaping the direction of industry to ensure that we have the technology capability that we need. And I would echo that there were other uses as well, as we've talked about the rise of data analytics and its importance for national security and signal intelligence and other domains. That's another area where we must think carefully about many of the enabling technologies, of which hardware is one, but the algorithms and other pieces need careful scrutiny also.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would agree with what's been said. Just 2 points. I think it would be truly shameful for us to give up the elements of leadership that we have. I mean, one of the things we pointed out in the ASCAC Exascale report was the criticality of time and of seizing the opportunity that in some way is presented uniquely to us to advance this field. But many, many countries will want to do that. And we have a little bit of a time advantage because of our starting place. The other point, which it goes sort of in the direction of the open source software, is the observation that a lot of the open science that's done in the world is done with international collaboration and with international connections. And we would, I think, like to still be in the position of having a lot of influence on the underlayer of that, on which we will all build. But there certainly is international collaboration in science, and I wouldn't want to minimize that, the importance of that for the open science community.
Thank you very much, and I won't ask a question if Chairman will give me a few extra seconds there. I just want to also echo what I know some of my colleagues have stated. I know exascale computing is important, but we have to make sure that we don't pursue that at the expense of other important R&D activities that Oscar is doing. That I'll yield back.